Fairy Tales reading
Victoria and the Enchanted Golden Fish. Beyond 7 mountains, beyond 7 rivers, in a small cottage on the edge of a great forest, lived a little girl named Victoria. She had red braids, an upturned nose, and a heart full of dreams. Her biggest dream was to have a real adventure. One day, when Victoria went to the nearby lake to splash around in the water, something extraordinary happened. In the grass near the shore, she spotted a tiny golden fish sniffing daisies. Oh my! Fish shouldn't be on land. Victoria exclaimed, carefully picking up the fish to return it to the water. But to her surprise, the fish opened its mouth and said, "Wait, child. I am no ordinary fish. I am an enchanted golden fish, and you have just saved me. As a token of gratitude, I will grant you 3 wishes." Victoria scratched her nose. Of course, she had heard about the golden fish granting wishes, but she never imagined it could happen to her. I know, she said excitedly. I wish that everything I touch turns into delicious ice cream. The golden fish wagged its tail and, poof! The wish was granted. Victoria touched a stick, and it turned into a strawberry ice cream cone. Then she touched a pebble, and it transformed into vanilla ice cream. She touched a tree, and suddenly, the whole forest turned into a giant ice cream shop. Oh dear! I think I overdid it. Victoria laughed, sitting down on a frozen tree stump. Around her, silence fell, and then suddenly, confused squirrels emerged from the bushes, finding ice cream scoops instead of nuts under their paws. Birds chirped in surprise as they tried to peck at their favorite berries, now turned into frozen treats, and even a small hedgehog tumbled onto its back, sliding across the smooth, icy surface. Well, it looks like I've created the biggest ice cream shop in the world. Victoria giggled. You can undo it with your second wish, the fish suggested. Victoria nodded. All right, I wish for everything to go back to normal. Poof! The forest was green again, and the stick was just a regular stick once more. What about your third wish? He asked the golden fish. Victoria thought for a moment, then said, I wish that you could live in my lake and always be my friend. The golden fish laughed joyfully. That is the best wish I have ever heard, it said, leaping back into the water, where it waited for Victoria, ready for more adventures. From that day on, Victoria visited the lake every day to talk to her new friend. One day, when she arrived, the fish was very excited. Victoria, I have something to tell you. A mysterious shell has appeared in the lake, glowing at night. No one knows where it came from, but I have a feeling it holds a secret. Fascinated, Victoria approached the shore and saw the shell shimmering with golden light. I think we have a new adventure, as she said with a smile. Victoria decided to touch the shell, and at that very moment, she heard a soft voice. Help me, please. Victoria and the golden fish looked at each other in astonishment. The shell slowly opened, and from inside, a tiny, radiant fairy emerged. Thank you for freeing me. I have been trapped in this shell for hundreds of years, said the fairy, shaking off her wings. But this isn't over. The spell that imprisoned me is still active and threatens my entire realm. Victoria looked at the fish, and they both knew they had to help. The fairy explained that her home, the fairy realm, had been enchanted and sealed off by an evil sorcerer. Victoria decided to help. The golden fish dived deep and pulled out a magic stone that could open a portal to the fairy realm. As Victoria took the fairy's hand, a swirling light surrounded them. A moment later, they found themselves in a fantastical place filled with colourful flowers and glowing butterflies, but the land looked abandoned. Dark clouds hung over the fairy palace, and the flowers drooped. "We must hurry," said the fairy. At the very center of the land stood a golden throne, where a wicked sorcerer in a long purple robe with a sinister smile awaited them. So you think you can stop me?" he said, rubbing his hands. "It won't be that easy." He cast a spell, but Victoria, using her cleverness, deflected it with her magic amulet. Every one of his spells bounced back at him, weakening him with each attempt. "No!" the sorcerer screamed before vanishing in a puff of smoke. The fairies were free. The fairy queen thanked Victoria and the golden fish, giving them a magical amulet that allowed them to visit the fairy realm whenever they wished. Victoria and the golden fish returned home, knowing that many adventures still awaited them. From that day on, the lake became a place where magic and friendship were always present. And who knows? Maybe next time, something even more amazing will happen. The end.
Fairy Tales Reading? Subscribe to our channel to hear more.